Hi, it's Jen, and I'm going to be going over Chapter 8, which is basically context-based learning and its effects on child development. So, I believe that the two foundational theorists for how children develop context-based learning are Vygotsky with his sociocultural theory and Bronfenbrenner with his bioecological theory. Now, the sociocultural theory basically states three things. One, that culture is significant in learning. Two, that language is the root of culture. And three, that individuals learn and develop within their role in the community. The bioecological system theory basically expands upon the established ideas of Vygotsky in that it grows into 5 different systems: microsystems, mesosystems, exosystems, macrosystems, and chronosystems. And basically he goes on to explain how students are affected at different levels of society by different levels of society, and how they create schemas, scripts, and worldviews based off subconscious influencers found within these systems. The whole purpose behind including these theories into the classroom is to create meaningful learning processes based on the backgrounds of the students bring to the classroom environment. The basis of these theories is the child's or student's ability to contextualize their understanding of events and their own made perceptions. This often occurs in situated learning or situated cognition, in which the child acquires knowledge specific to an event or activity and are unable to transfer this outside of the fixed situation. Students can combat this cognitive overload by moving the learned information to something or someone else. This process of distributed cognition helps students break down complex tasks into more achievable sections by shifting the placement of information, either on paper or on another person. The most enduring way for students to acquire information is through social constructivism, and it is also in this concept that the foundation for both Vygotsky and Bronfenbrenner's theories lie. Social constructivism imposes meaning onto the world, and while it can be the work of an individual, it is often a group effort that results in a larger collective consciousness. Because people develop meaning through their own experiences, two students will likely draw divergent conclusions for the same experience. Despite having a similar activity presented to them, it is the background knowledge that they bring that shapes their understanding of activity. People's physical bodies, their immediate physical and social environments, and the broader cultural and societal implements all provide varying contexts for children's cognitive development. Within an immediate social context, children have the ability to learn from teachers, adults, and peers. The opportunity to work with more advanced individuals creates a mediated learning experience in which new learning and metacognitive strategies can be introduced to help learn through new concepts and activities. We see that exemplified within this first video, which is this girl here. She has a ballet background, and so that's the knowledge that she brings. She is more experienced or more advanced within that background. The dude on the left, he's not as experienced in this. His background is deriving from the hip-hop dance art form, and so he brings his own experience to the ballet world. But since she is the advanced individual, she teaches him, and he improves with a higher learning curve than what he would have just learning by himself. The exposure to and development of diverse cognitive tools via peer interaction creates a community of learners, a student-centered curriculum that allows students to be active participants in acquiring new bodies of knowledge. Students are able to create conceptual artifacts that can be used and modified to fit future situations. So in this video, the girl is a part of a failing class, and the guy that you guys will see is like the very top student in the entire school. And basically, she has to convince this guy to teach her entire class, like a week before finals, how to take tests and how to think about things. So this is just another example of how a more advanced student can help the general student population, like, develop new cognitive processes.
Thank you. I was gonna get my phone.
So the book states that through culture, a human social group ensures that each new generation acquire and benefits from the wisdom that preceding generations have accumulated. The development of students' core beliefs as it relates to their cultural upbringing provides a basis of divergence or cohesion within the classroom environment, creating either a safe space for the student to learn or a place of dismay in which they do not feel safe enough to participate authentically. Especially with the growing understanding and acceptance of the other's experiences, the traditional Western patriarchal mode of education continues to isolate these unique voices. In establishing communities of practice, we create the opportunity for students to express themselves authentically among like-minded peers, but it is also our job as educators to define what beliefs exactly are our students practicing, as well as our own implicit biases that could act to silence these same voices. So, sorry, the background context for this is a woman who was doing her master's degree on the concept of having different Englishes. She says that she's trilingual because she speaks Ebonics, she speaks the second language English version, English for, non-English learners. Her parents are from, I think, Nigeria, and they speak a different form of English than a normal or native speaker of English would. And she also speaks academic English or standard English. And she goes into how this affects her classroom environment, not only for her personally, but also for her students. So Professor Liscott mentioned the 5 A's. That was that last video we watched fully. Critical awareness, agency and access, actualization, achievement, alteration, and action. And I really liked this quote by Dr. Barbara Sizemore that basically says, give students a taste of success and they'll keep coming back. Basically, students need to have activities established within the classroom that speaks to their background experiences in order for them to feel not only as though the information pertains to them, but also so that they are able to create more meaningful experiences and thus store the knowledge for like long-time purposes for future references. So technology, when it works, or when you know how to work it rather, creates not only a new social sphere that teachers must be mindful of, but can also create a diverse opportunities to include more of students' lived experiences and increase the quality of non-traditional stories to be shared. Expanding students' oculi mundi will help them become better global citizens and more critical thinkers as new contexts are brought to their peripheral conceptualization process. So thank you for watching this. That was my summary of Chapter 8. Well, the video's not working, but basically what I wanted to say, you guys can look it up on YouTube if you're that interested, but she talks about this concept of decolonizing the mind, which kind of relates to the other video we just watched, in that the established educational structures don't necessarily allow space for the voices of minority students to be heard, and it creates an unsafe space. So then they contextualize these understandings, and it becomes a form of self-perception. Oh, I can't be a teacher, I can't be a doctor, I can't be this because I never liked school. Was it that the students never really liked school, or was it that they didn't like the process in which they went through in order to obtain this education? So